Welcome everybody to Bristol Motor Speedway. My name is Josh Hall, part of Intensity Broadcasting, and we're here with the airtight heating and sheet metal 180 here at Bristol in the iOS Cup Series tonight. Airtight Heating and Sheet Metal is a sister company to Fortuna Iron, and they specialize in heating and sheet metal and HVAC fabrication. If it's not airtight, it's not done right. So let's take a look here. We're going to take a quick look at our standings coming into tonight. Now, 1 second, I apologize. I have them in the wrong spot. Let's try this again. And Cody Moore, your current points leader. He's got 2 wins with Colin Williams right behind him. Well, not right behind him, but a little ways behind him. He's also got a win, so he's locked into this playoffs. Brian D is sitting in 3rd. No wins, will win as well, but both of them having strong runs the last couple weeks to move them up in the points. Brian Nudie with a win, so he's locked into the playoffs. Sitting back in 5th. Logan Hagerman, Daniel Mitchell, Chris Wheeler, Kyle Mays, Eddie Morris make up your top 10, and Stephen Black has 2 wins as well. Sitting in 11th, so he's locked into the playoffs. And now we're talking about our bubble drivers. You have guys on the outside looking in, names like Joseph Wright, Brian Merle Jr., Brett Merle, Michael Provolt. They're just barely sitting outside the playoffs right now, so they're trying to make their way into that top 12. Let's also take a look at our team standings right now, and we'll see Intensity Racing Team, with 750 points, as we see the Wright brothers battling it out on track in practice here. Then you got Cyclone Racing right behind, Carolina Sim Racing, Secondhand Racing, and Team Maze. Practice is getting close to being finished here. Actually, practice is all done. We're going to be moving over into qualifying here. Thank you for joining us tonight here on Intensity Broadcasting. This is the iOS Cup Series. We're seeing Stony Benfield, one of the first cars out on track. And if you joined us earlier, you saw the SESRA take on the Bristol, but covered in dirt. We're able to get all that dirt off in half an hour, get these guys back out on track here at Thunder Valley, the last great Coliseum, the world's fastest half mile. That's right, it's Bristol, baby. And already at the top of the board, we've got the 23 of Brett Merle putting his first lap down. I see a lot of guys in the low 15s. We'll have to see if anybody is able to break that 15-second mark and get down into the 14 seconds. See who else is on track. You got Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence out on track right now. And one of our drivers who's up in the points tonight, Daniel Mitchell, will not be racing tonight. Unfortunately, his grandfather passed away from cancer today. So our thoughts are with Daniel in this tough time for him and his family. And because of that, we're actually going to have a silent lap number 26 due to him being the 26 car, just to reflect. And if anybody wants to pray, if you're into that, feel free to do it at that time. But right now, we're watching some qualifying. See Brian Nudie out on track. He's going to come home in the 4th spot. And there we go. We got a couple cars breaking that 15-second barrier. We've got the 98, Stephen Black. Ran a 14.88. Blake Hensley. And that green John Deere machine comes across the line. He also broke down in the 14s. He ran a 14.93 his last time by. Let's see what he can do with this lap here. See if he improves his position. Looks like he got up into the wall, so I don't think he's going to. Nope, so he's going to sit back in second, but one of the only other cars to break that 14-second barrier. You got Zachary Cox out on track right now in that Powerpuff Girls car. So he comes across the stripe here. And his second lap is slower than his first, so he's going to continue to stay in third position. Let's take a look at Intensity Zone Joseph Wright here. Well, Brian Merle Jr. jumps up into the fourth position. So good lap for him. Kyle Mays on his first lap jumps into third. Let's see what he does here on his second lap. And Kyle is going to come across, move himself into the second position. Ooh, 100th behind Stephen Black. Ooh, Joe gets real loose there off the corner. And Joe's going to finish off in the 15th position. Bobby Mays out on track right now. See what Bobby can do out here. Oh, Bobby's going to call it quits right there. Didn't like the way that lap was going. Here's Brian Dees, who's been stringing together a bunch of good runs, couple top threes. He's going to come across the line. And he's going to move into the fourth position, also running a sub 15-second lap of 14.95. So 4 cars so far able to break that 15-second barrier. Does anybody else got anything for us? We see Colin Willems rolling out on track right now in that YXU Racing Chevy Camaro. And you'll see these guys really trying to work that high side. There's a lot of grip up there on the high side, so that's where they're going to try to find the most grip there. Oh, he gets up into the wall and loses it and crashes hard. Ooh, hard impact for Colin Willems. The 09 of Michael White now out on track. Michael White jumps up into the 8th spot. See what he can do here on his second lap. And his second lap is the same as his first, a 15.09. So he's going to stay in that 8th position. Here comes one half of the Logan and Cody show. Cody Moore out on track in that 52 Fanatec machine. He's going to come across the stripe here, and let's see what he can do here. Oh, Cody also loses it just like Colin did. And that's good enough for 5th right now. I don't think he's going to be able to get a second lap in that he made contact there, unfortunately. So it's another driver really good at the short tracks, just rolled into the 8th position. Walter Witt, William Walter Witt. Oh, he catches the wall as well, and that wall is really coming out and biting people tonight. We've seen that a few times. So he's going to have to stay in the 8th position. Eddie gets a little loose there. He's going to sit in the 14th position. Got Dave Wright coming out on track right now. Couple nice views from the wall there. You can see the speed that these guys carry. It's Dave's first lap. Oh, he gets a little loose there off the corner. That doesn't look like it recorded that lap. Fortunately for Dave, he touched the wall and his laps got disallowed, so see if anybody else is out there going to make a qualifying attempt. We got a few drivers: Max McClure, Derek Chaput, Isaiah Gill, Colin Williams. We saw have some issues. We'll have to see if anybody of these guys take any last-minute qualifying attempts. Don't forget, like, follow, subscribe on Intensity Broadcasting. Get notified of any time we go live. We got live racing 7 days a week. Also, we can see the 15 of you that are watching. We've got 2 on Twitch, 7 on YouTube, 6 on Facebook. Go ahead and, I know Colin and Nick are going to have their normal cheering squad to come in and root them on. Let me know who you're cheering for tonight. We got about, looks like Isaiah Gill is out on track right now. Isaiah's going to move up into the 5th spot, which is barely under that 15-second mark with 14.99. Looks like we're just waiting for a few others to make their decisions whether or not they're going to qualify. Again, we know Colin Williams had some issues and had a hard crash. We have Derek Chaput, Max McClure, Logan Hagerman yet to qualify. See Isaiah not making a qualifying run here, just getting some practice out on track. Don't know if he's got to practice a pit stop. Nope, he's going to go right on by pit road. Great view of the track. You can really see the great angle here. How this track is really shaped. Looks like a giant football field. Pretty neat establishment here. But let's take a look at our starting grid. And your pole sitter tonight, the 98, Stephen Black, with Kyle Mays in the 55 to his outside. Row 2, it's going to see the 31 of Blake Hensley and the 27 of Brian Dees. Isaiah Gill in the 2 machine. He'll be rolling off 5th with Cody Moore to his outside in the 6th spot. Then we'll see Brandon White in the 019 rolling off 7th with Bobby Mays in the 5 in the 8th spot. Row 5 is going to see the 35 of William Walter Witt the 5th and the 51 of Zachary Cox starting 10th. Michael White in the 09, he'll be starting 11th with Todd Mays in the 12th position. 13th is going to see Brian Merle Jr. in the 74 and Michael Provolt in the Fortuna Iron 95 machine in the 7th row. Eddie Morris in the 8 machine, he'll be rolling off in 15th with Brian Nudie. Falling way back tonight, rolling off P16. We'll have Brett Merle in the 23 intensity machine. He'll be rolling off 17th with Nick Mather in the 16. Rounding out row 9. Stoney Benfield in the 75. He'll be rolling off 19th with Chris Wheeler to his outside in the Valvoline machine. TJ Floyd in the 49. Rolling off 21st with Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence in the outside of the 11th row. Row 12. You got the 66 of Sylvan Segoin and the 82 of Joseph Wright. Colin Williams in the 17. He'll be rolling off 25th. Slating Logan Hagerman in 26th. Derek Chaput in the 37th position with David Wright in 28th. And rounding out the field, the 19 of Max McClure. I do take it back. I think Logan Hagerman is doing race control tonight as we got the cars out on track, making their way around for their first of 2 pace laps. Here's your race information. Half-mile concrete oval. 82-degree temperature with an 89-degree track temperature, as concrete really doesn't heat up as much as asphalt would, but as the race goes on, you'll see it rubber up and get a little slicker. Again, thanks for joining us tonight here on Intensity Broadcasting. Do appreciate you spending your Tuesday night with us. It's going to be a great show here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Bristol is one of my favorite racetracks. The Bristol night race is almost always right on my birthday, or around my birthday. So one of these years, my goal is for my birthday to get down here. So love this track. Love the racing it provides, and we'll see how these iOS Cup drivers here can handle Thunder Valley, the last great Coliseum. As the pace car takes that hard left-hand turn onto pit road, Stephen Black leads him down to the starting line. Green flags in the air, and we already got cars spinning their tires as Brian Dees really spun the tires on the start here, which is really easy to do. He's going to lose a couple positions here immediately. Will Witt already up 3 positions on the start, and we've already had quite a few drivers have some issues. Already Stephen Black being challenged for the lead. Kyle Mays looking to the high side, trying to take it away, but fighting back on that bottom side is Stephen Black. And while these guys are fighting side by side, that's allowing Isaiah Gill to start making his way into catching these two. So we got a battle here for the lead. Kyle Mays is going to clear Stephen Black. Here comes Isaiah Gill now down to the bottom. Great run for Gill. As they're side by side through turns 1 and 2. I think Stephen Black's going to get him here on the exit. And he does. He clears him and makes his way into that preferred outside groove. And the fastest way to run this track, you'll see these guys kind of enter high. And towards the middle of the corner, you'll see them start to drive down the track a little bit. They'll use that hill to pull themselves down the track, gain some speed and momentum, and move themselves forward. Behind, Brandon White challenging Blake Hensley for that 5th position. But just not able to make it happen. We see Brian Dees starting to make his way back forward after spinning the tires on the start. You can actually see just before the start-finish line there, a couple tire marks there as a couple drivers, not just Brian Dees, but it looked like a couple people spun their tires on the start there. Great battle here for position as, Brandon White gets a little loose there. He's going to lose that position. So Blake Hensley and Brian Dees are going to get right around and move them into your top 5. Kyle Mays now starting to be under attack a little bit from Stephen Black. Cassie Williams says, "Let's go, Caleb." Caleb, of course, is Colin Williams. Great battle here for the lead. 3 cars under a blanket. You got Kyle Mays, Stephen Black, and Isaiah Gill battling hard. We got Brian Merle Jr. working the bottom side now. He's underneath the 09 of Michael White. He's got Zachary Cox right behind him trying to follow him through. Saw one car slowing off the pace. Not sure who that was, but it looks like everything is still green flag. We see Nick Mather now. Nick's actually a lap down. I think he might have had some issues there and was able to gather it back up, and he's the first car to go 1 lap down. Brian Nudie now looking to the outside of Todd Mays. We've seen that high lane kind of prevail here as Nudie gets a great run through the corner. Is he going to be able to get him off the corner here? He is not. As they come through the corner here, it looks like Nudie's going to be able to clear that 25 machine. And now Brett Merle is going to try to follow Brian right on through. Blake Hensley and Brian Dees now still fighting for it back here. And Kyle Mays now has a mirror full of Stephen Black, as Stephen Black's looking to the inside, trying to take the lead away, but Kyle is able to make that high lane work and get back around. So great run there up front here between Stephen Black and Kyle Mays. Kyle just starting to really show some pace. Both Kyle and Stephen are running identical lap times along with Isaiah Gill, so your top three pretty much running the exact same lap times here. Not able to get away from each other as we work lap number 18 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Further back, Eddie Morris here with a battle with Colin Williams. Colin started deep in the field. He's starting to work his way forward as Eddie's going to get a little block here from TJ Floyd. TJ just not able to get off the corner as well as they're going to try to make it 3 wide for a second. Eddie's going to back out. Oh, 3 wide. Oh, TJ gets turned around. Caution is out for TJ Floyd, and that's going to bring up our first wreckage rewind of the night. Let's see if we can see exactly what happened here. As we saw, we had a little 3 wide action right here. And coming off the corner, I think TJ maybe a little contact. Yeah, Colin Williams kind of came up just a little bit. TJ really nowhere to go. Eddie with nowhere to go. I don't think Colin knew that they were 3 wide. And when that happened, it just caused TJ to get up into the wall. And doesn't look like too heavy contact, so we're able to, we'll probably be able just to go in, take tires, get that thing repaired up, and back out on track. See the 16 of Nick Mather getting the lucky dog here. And see Eddie Morris, Chris Wheeler, Joe Wright, TJ Floyd, David Wright, Max McClure. A couple cars coming to pit road. And these guys are going to have 2 sets of tires in the pits. And we're going to come to the end of the stage on lap 36. Again, we're going to have a moment of silence on lap 26. One of our drivers, Daniel Michel's grandfather, lost his life today with a battle with cancer. So due to him running the 26 car, I figured it'd be fitting to observe a moment of silence on lap 26 in remembrance. And I believe that's going to be probably as they're going back green flag racing. So if you don't hear me making the call on the start, that would be why. But so far, pretty clean for the first 20 laps or so. And now these guys are going to have some hot tires, and we already saw these guys, a couple of these drivers spin their tires on the start. The initial start with nice, fresh tires. We'll have to see how these guys handle as these guys will have hot tires as we go on. So as the field works off of turn number 4, the lights on the pace car do shut off. We'll be going back green flag racing. We're going to re-rack them, restack them, and refire them. Our leader, Kyle Mays, takes the high side for this restart, which is a good play. As we know, that high side really has the advantage here. See, Mary Hagerman says Logan will be a leader. Unfortunately, Logan is not actually racing in the race. Logan is taking care of the race control tonight. So he's making sure that everything is A-OK up in the booth. So he is our race official as the pace car peels off. Kyle Mays leads him back to the restart zone. Green flag's back in the air. And we're back racing here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and already a battle for the lead here as they come off of turn number 2. Again, lap 26 will be silent in remembrance of Daniel Michel's grandfather. So we do appreciate you guys taking the time for that, as we got a great battle for the lead, and we got a caution out on track right as that happens. It looks like, I believe the 17 of Colin Willems involved here. And that's going to bring up our second wreckage rewind of the night. We'll have to see what happened to Colin here. So we see another 3-wide racing with Colin up on the high side there. He's got the 5 of Bobby Mays to his inside, and Brett Merle below him, and man, just running out of room there. Excuse me. That causes Colin just to lose it. He's hard into that inside wall. Looks like everybody... Oh, a little contact between David Wright and Nick Mather. Everybody kind of able to sneak through there. Just realized I had the wrong logo for my replay. So I do apologize for that. That should fix that. There we go. Now we've got the right logo up there. So we see Colin Willems coming off of pit road. Kyle Mays is still your leader. In the Facebook, Marie Bonner Madsen says, "Hi, Brian Brett." Brian and Brett having decent nights so far. Brian's up 5 positions, sitting up in the 8th spot. And Brett sitting in 13th. Brett up 4 positions from where he started. Brian up 5. So a couple drivers starting to make their way through the field, move themselves forward. As the lights on the pace car should be shutting off this time, as the field works their way off of turn number 4. And Kyle Mays again is going to choose that high side, sticking Stephen Black back on the bottom. Again, you're watching the Airtight Heating and Sheet Metal 180. If it ain't airtight, that ain't done right. A sister company to Fortuna Iron, specializing in heating and sheet metal and HVAC. As Kyle Mays takes him off of turn number 4. Back to the restart zone. Green flags back in the air. And we're back racing here at Bristol, and already Stephen Black putting some pressure on Kyle here as they come through 1 and 2. Still side by side down the backstretch. As we're getting close to the end of the stage here, stage will be ending at lap 36. Now Isaiah Gill to the high side trying to get around Stephen Black. Isaiah trying to take that second position away with Blake Hensley now in the mix here as well. And while these guys are battling behind, it's allowing Kyle Mays start to pull away as Isaiah's going to clear Stephen Black. Stephen Black's going to continue to fall back because now Blake Hensley's on the outside. And Stephen's just getting freight trained on that low side. As they come off of turn number 4 to start lap 36. This will be the final lap of the stage here. See who can, if Kyle Mays can hold on, or if Blake Hensley's going to try to take the second position away from Isaiah Gill as they come across the line. Kyle Mays is going to be your stage winner with Blake Hensley, Isaiah Gill, Stephen Black, Michael White, Brandon White, Brian Merle Jr., Will Witt, Brian Nudi, and Cody Moore rounding out the stage as the yellow flag comes out for the end of the stage. And looks like we got a pretty big wreck on the backstretch here involving, oh man, Brian Nudi involved in this one as well. Brian car not looking too well. This looks like it may have started well in front of Brian Nudi. Let's take a look here to see exactly what happened, because this actually starts with the 22 of Chris Wheeler. Whoops. The 22 of Chris Wheeler up on the high side, almost in the wall there. And, oh, we see Will Witt around. Let's, oh, looks like Brian Merle Jr. thought he was clear, tried to slide up in front of Will Witt, and it just didn't work. Here comes Brian Nudi involved, Zachary Cox involved. They're still wrecking behind. Derek Chaput involved. Max McClure able to get through it. And Bobby Mays might have been involved in that as well. So unfortunately for guys like Brian Nudi having to take that reset early, we see Will Witt on pit road now. Let's see if he takes the reset or just tries to get this fixed. Nope, he's going to take the reset. Car snaps back in the position. So a couple drivers see the 51, the Powerpuff Girl car of Zachary Cox, deciding not to take a reset. Didn't think the damage was that bad, and I don't blame him, as this is a short track. Aerodynamics don't mean as much as, say, a mile and a half or a super speedway. So hold on to that reset for the end. But Kyle Mays, your stage winner. And Kyle deciding to stay out. The top 7 decide to stay out. Joseph Wright up in the 8th. We saw him pit a few minutes ago, and he's now in the 8th position. He's already pit once. Michael Provolt and Brian Merle Jr., 9th and 10th. They have not pit. And it looks like everybody else behind has pit at least once already, so we'll see how this plays out here. As the lights on the pace car are off, we see Cody Moore, too, up into the 4th position, staying out and gambling, trying to see if he can keep those tires fresh. You see the 25 there, missing a whole front end. Looks like one of those Northeast modified cars. But Kyle Mays is going to lead him back to the restart zone with Blake Hensley to his inside. To the restart zone, green flag's back in the air. Great jump again for Kyle Mays. Almost left Blake Hensley sleeping a little bit. We see Isaiah Gill, who was running in 2nd at the time, has gone in and pit. He's starting way back in the 24th position, but right now we got a big battle for the lead as Kyle Mays and Blake Hensley are side by side. Oh, some contact. Mays makes contact, goes around, able to save it, comes back across the track. And we're able to keep it rolling as see a little 3 wide behind, but they're able to get that all straightened out here. And Blake Hensley is going to jump into the lead, and quite the lead here over Stephen Black, almost a second Right now we've got a gaggle of cars here, all jostling for position back here as we see big group of cars. Brian Dees gets a little loose off the corner. He's got to check up, and that stacks everybody up behind him. Todd Mays on the high side with TJ Floyd on the bottom trying to make that work. And already we see Brian Nudie, who reset. He had some issues, had to take his reset. He's moved his way through the pack. He's currently in the 11th position and about to crack the top 10. Brett Merle, now challenging Kyle Mays, trying to take that second spot away. He's going to have to fall back in behind. As TJ Floyd now working the bottom of Brian Dees, trying to take that position away. Brian's in the 7th position. TJ's going to move up to the 6th. He's going to set his sights on Cody Moore. They're trying to take 5th place away from Cody. Isn't able to work the slide job as we had 3 wide for a second back here. We saw Brian Nudie, Joseph Wright, and Brian Merle Jr. 3 wide. Here comes Colin Williams. Oh, Colin Williams bounces off the wall, almost gets to the side of Joe Wright. Able to hold on to it. Great save from Colin. We got battles all over the track. Here comes Brian Nudie now. Looking underneath Todd Mays here. They're 3 wide. Almost a little bit of contact. They make it work as Nudie using the bottom side to get the passing done here. And he's going to get a couple cars right there in that corner. He's going to set his sights on D's. Move Brian Nudie up into the 6th position. So you've got Blake Hensley with a half-second lead over Stephen Black. And it's 2.5 seconds from Stephen Black back to Kyle Mays in 3rd. Brian Nudie underneath C.D. Moore, trying to take that position away from Cody. And he's going to take it, so he's making those fresh tires work as we got a caution out on track. And it looks like Derek Chaput and Sylvain Seguin tangling up here in turn number 1. That's going to bring up another Wreckage Rewind. Actually, it's I'm going to start a little in front. So it looks like Derek Chaput. Let's roll this back. Derek Chaput in the 09. Oh, Chaput bounces off the wall, almost catches Isaiah Gill. And then the 09 of Michael White just nowhere to go. Gets in the back of Chaput, turns him around. And then Sylvain Seguin with cars to his inside gets stuck on the bottom, and Nick Mather involved. The 47 of Michael Lawrence Cheeseburger involved. Nick Mather got a little piece of that as well. Colin Williams coming down pit road. We see a little bit of damage to that right side of that car. Let's see if he gets that repaired. So it looks like he is going to. Also on pit road, Max McClure coming off of pit road. Sylvain Seguin coming to his stop. Stoney Benfield. I believe these guys are actually pitting on the backstretch. So, interesting thing about Bristol is you've got 2 different pit roads. You've got a front stretch pit road and a backstretch pit road. So we see Stoney Benfield rolling. He's on the front stretch. And we see cars like Derek Chaput coming to a stop on the backstretch, along with Sylvain Seguin also on the backstretch. So a couple drivers with the disadvantage of being stuck on the backstretch for pitting purposes. But up front, still got Blake Hensley leading. Stephen Black in second. Those two have really been pulling away from the front here. Gotta watch out for, though, right now is Brian Nudie. Nudie on some fresh tires, making his way through the field. Started way back and drove his way up through the field up to the front. Right now, a couple of our biggest movers. You've got Dave Wright in the 84 machine. He's up 16 spots in the 12th. Joe Wright up 15 spots into 9th. TJ Floyd and Brett Merle both up 14 spots. So a couple hard chargers. As we're re-racked, restacked, and ready to refire here. Pace car is going to peel off. Back to the restart zone. Blake Hensley leads them. Hits that loud pedal and green flags back in the air. We're back racing. And oh, Kyle Mays spins the tires on the start. That allows Brian Nudie to slip right on by. Brett Merle getting a much better start as well. And Brett Merle now all over the back of the 98 machine. Here comes Kyle Mays now challenging Brian Nudie again on that high side. Trying to take that position back, but we know Brian Nudie's on the fresher tires. Oh, Brett Merle has some issues getting off turn number 2. That allows Brian Nudie to slide right in front of him, and here comes Kyle Mays trying to take advantage of Brett's mistake as well. But that's going to allow Nudie to kind of check out here and use those fresh tires up and try to chase down Stephen Black and Blake Hensley, who are both battling on track right now for the lead. Stephen right on the back bumper here. So you ride along with Stephen and you can hear how he's working that throttle here. You're not off the gas very long here at Bristol. Going a lot faster than you think you would be at such a small track. You see the speed in the bottom right corner. And Brian Nudie is right there, ready to pounce if either one of these guys makes a mistake. A little further back, Joseph Wright working his way forward now, up into the 9th position, battling with TJ Floyd, trying to move himself forward. You see Brian Merle Jr. now moving himself forward as well, trying to get around his brother in the 23. Oh, they make contact. Oh, and the yellow flag is out, but it's not for this issue. Looks like Colin Willems on pit road. And that's going to bring out another wreckage rewind for our 5th caution of the night. We'll see what happened to Colin here. So he's working the high side here. He sees the 22 Chris Wheeler bounces off the wall, and Willems just nowheres to go. He goes hard into that inside safer barrier. Oh, and then catches Max McClure, who gets involved in that as well. And Max doesn't look like he's got too much damage. But a tough break for those involved. So Colin Willems looks like he may have just retired for the night. I don't see him on track anymore. Bunch of cars, though, hitting pit road. Comes Joe Wright down to his pit stall. Oh, take a look at the exit of pit lane here. Is see Eddie Morris pulling off here right in front of the pace car, the 47 and Cheeseburger. These are the backstretch pits. So up front, Blake Hensley still leads. Stephen Black. Brian Nudie, though, put some pressure on these two with those fresh tires. So we'll have to see if he's able to make his way up to the front here. Kyle May sitting in 4th and still hasn't pit yet. So As much as he's been struggling on these tires, I'm surprised he hasn't gone in to take new tires. You see, Isaiah Gill sitting in the 10th position. Isaiah did pit earlier. He pit on lap number, looking at my notes here, lap number 40. Brian Newty also pit on lap 39. So a couple of these guys on fresher tires out there and making it work. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night as the iOS Truck Series will be running tomorrow night at Iowa. For 100 laps. And then on to North Wilkesboro. So after last week at the road course, you're going to get 2 short tracks in a row with Iowa and North Wilkesboro. And that's going to finish off before the playoffs. Next week here in the Cup Series, we're going to be moving on to North Wilkesboro as well, as that's going to be the cutoff race for the playoffs before we move on to the round of 12. As the field is re-racked and restacked, getting ready to refire here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Blake Hensley's going to pick the outside again and try to leave Stephen Black stuck on the bottom. We've already seen Kyle Mays have a couple issues on the restart. We'll have to see if he's able to keep it going straight this time as the pace car pulls off. Blake Hensley takes off. Green flag's back in the air. And Brian Newty kind of takes it easy on that start. I think he was expecting these guys to spin their tires a little bit as Kyle Mays almost gets in the side of the 98 and then almost gets in the wall. But he's got a good run here on Stephen Black. And he's going to be able to clear Stephen here. And here comes Brian Newty, also on the high side. Stephen Black almost squeezes up in front of Newty, not able to pull that slide job. Here comes Newty around Stephen Black. This is for the 3rd position. Oh, Stephen slides up the track almost into the side of Newty. I don't think Newty liked that too much. He's showing his displeasure by coming back down. And as they come off the corner, Brian Newty's just got the fresher tires, and he's going to make those work. He's going to clear Stephen Black here. Isaiah Gill working around the 51 of Zachary Cox. Again, Isaiah also has fresher tires. He's on the same pit cycle as Brian Newty, so you should be able to see Isaiah just almost pull out and pass here. So he's working that high side. And we've got a yellow. It looks like Derek Chaput spun around at the entrance of turn number 1. That's going to bring up our wreckage rewind. Let's see if we can see what happened to Derek Chaput here. If it was him involved or if it was another case where something happened in front of him and he just had to check up. Oh, he checks up because there's a mess. Oh, in front of him. So let's we're going to rewind this a little bit back here so we can see the whole picture. We're going to go right to the blimp here so we can see. And if you watch up around that blue number 82 of Joseph Wright, you'll see that the 19 and the 019 gets really loose, almost comes down into Michael White. That causes Joseph Wright to check up, and then Michael Provault, seeing that, checks up himself, which causes Derek Chaput to check up, which causes David Wright to not be able to check up and get in the back. And then, oh, in front of that, we saw, man, it looked like, I think Stoney Benfield and Max McClure get involved as well as, yeah, Max just thought there was a hole there, and he gets up, catches Sylvan Segoy, Nick Mather, Eddie Morse involved as well. All those cars rolling off a pit road now. And again, your leader, Blake Hensley, decides to stay out. We see the 98. Oh, no, he didn't go in. I'm sorry. I thought 98 went in, but he stayed out as well. We're about 10 laps here from halfway. Well, a lot of action so far early in this race as we work lap number 80 under caution here. It's kind of surprising to see some of these guys not take tires and stay out after seeing what Brian Nudi's been able to do with those fresh tires. So I make a couple adjustments here with my microphone. That's the sounds you were hearing if you heard those. The lights are off on the pace car. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing here. And no surprise that Blake Hensley decides to take that high side. It's going to put Kyle Mays down on the bottom. Again, we've already seen Kyle Mays spin the tires on the start a couple times. Let's see if he's able to get a good start here and stay with Blake, or if he eases into it, or if he spins the tires altogether. See if Brian Nudi does here on this restart as well. As the green flag is back in the air. Oh, Kyle was trying to jump the start and had to back out of it. He's going to lose a position to Stephen Black now. It's a good start by Blake Hensley as he didn't go where he had been going earlier. A little gamesmanship there. Catches Kyle Mays kind of a little ambitious on that start. He falls back, and now we've got a little battle back here as we see Cody Moore, Brett Merle, and the 25 of Todd Mays battling out here for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Brett's kind of stuck on the bottom right now, not where you want to be, as we've seen that high side be so strong in the early part of this race. And here comes Todd Mays missing the front end and all, and he's able to get right around the 23. 23, though, not able to slide back up to that high side. Up front, we see Brian Nudi and Kyle Mays battling for position. This is for 3rd place. Can Nudi make those fresh tires work on the bottom side, or fresher tires? They've got some laps on them now. And he's just not able to make him clear. Now we've got almost a battle for the lead here as we see Blake Hensley with Stephen Black all over the back bumper. See Stephen working a little bit lower there off the corner, trying to use the hill here to try to drive it off the corner, do what we like to call the diamond. It looks like each corner they kind of take each other's lines here. They're going to fall right back in line. Battle here, Isaiah Gill, Brett Merle. It's for 7th and 8th. See Joe Wright in the 82 coming into this mix as well. Oh! Little contact there, and we got a yellow flag on track as it looks like Mansory Benfield, Zach Cox, Eddie Morris, Dave Wright. Bunch of cars involved again, and because how small and fast Bristol is, you'll see. Just like at Daytona or Talladega, it's known for the big one. And this looks like a pretty big one right here. It looks like it starts with Zach Cox getting a little high off the corner, getting into the wall. TJ Floyd not checking up in time. Gets into the left rear of the 51. He goes for the spin. Almost saves it. TJ gives him another. TJ still hitting that left rear corner. I know he's not doing it on purpose. See, Michael Provolt just barely able to sneak on by. Oh, David Wright, nowhere to go. Just pile drives the 51. Eddie Morris as well. Here comes Stoney Benfield. He collects as well, and it's just how fast things happen here. Actually, we're right on board with Dave Wright just to show you how fast things happen and you just don't realize what's going on in front of you. Just nowheres to go. Same thing with Eddie Morris here. Just so fast and nowheres to go. These guys can't even see around the corner to see that there's a car stopped sideways. They see a little bit of smoke, and by the time they're able to pick up what's going on in front of them, they're already in it. So, looks like we got a change for the lead now, as Kyle Mays, Todd Mays, Stephen Black, Blake Hensley, these guys all just pit. So they're going to be restarting. Blake Hensley 13th, Stephen Black 14th, Kyle Mays back in 16th, Cody Moore in 17th, Todd Mays in 18th, TJ Floyd back in 19th. And this is going to be interesting, as you're going to have Brian Newty and Isaiah Gill on the front row, and Joseph Wright and Brett Merle in the second row. Then Brandon White and Michael White in the third row. Brian Merle Jr., Will Witt, Michael Proval, and Derek Chaput, after being caught up in a couple of them early on, making his way back up into the top 10 right now. We'll have to see if he's able to stay up there. As the lights on the pace car are off, Brian Newty does pick the high line here. As the pace car gets ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road, Brian Newty on the gas. Green flag is back in the air. Great jump from Joseph Wright, trying to take that third position away from his teammate. And Brian Newty and Isaiah Gill battling side-by-side for the lead as they go into turn number 3. Newty, though, able to prevail on the higher side. He's going to clear Isaiah. Here comes Joseph Wright battling. He's trying to take that second position away from Isaiah Gill. He's going to look down to the inside, but just nowhere to go. You're not going to have the run there. Looks down to the inside again. He's alongside. Off of turn number 4. Oh, almost a little bit of contact there between the 2 and the A2. Oh, Isaiah up into the wall. Oh, a little contact again as Isaiah comes down off the wall. I think you might have felt that Joe crowded him and pushed him up into the wall there. Joe gets a little loose. This is a great battle here. This is for the second position, and Brett Merle just kind of hanging back here, seeing if he's able to take advantage of it, which he does. He's going to go right around Isaiah. As Isaiah catches the wall again, Isaiah's going to fall back to the 4th position. Blake Hensley already up into the 7th position with these fresh tires, and he is a man on a mission right now. He's moving forward much faster than Kyle Mays and Stephen Black are. Up front, Joe Wright trying to take the lead away from Brian Newty. And Brett Merle followed right along there as well. So a couple intensity drivers here up at the front trying to take the lead away. Here comes Joe Wright to the bottom. Joe Wright is going to take the lead here at Bristol as they come through turns 3 and 4. And across the line, and here comes the 31 of, wow, loose moment for Blake Hensley. But you can see just how much faster those fresh tires are. Oh, Newty battling, swatting some flies in the cockpit there. Able to hold on to it. And right now, Joe Wright's leading a couple laps, but as fast as that 31 machine is, I don't think he's going to be able to hold on to that lead much longer. As they go into turn number 3, Blake Hensley down to the inside. He's going to clear him easily. Oh, Joe catches the wall just a little bit, but he's going to pull right away with those fresh tires. But a valiant effort for Joe Wright, trying to lead a couple laps here and getting it done behind We see the fresh tires now as Stephen Black trying to get his way through the field here. And Stephen is just caught in this battle right now. So many different tire strategies right now, and you're just starting to see that play out as Stephen Black's finally able to clear. And you can see the run he gets now on Brett Merle. He's going to set his sights on Joe Wright, who's a second ahead. And comparative times, last time by, Joe ran a 15:83. Stephen ran a 15:33. That's a half a second faster. Now you can see just what a half a second faster looks like on track. When you're at a track where you're only running 15-second laps, and Stephen Black is going to move into that second position easily, but Joe Wright playing the track position game and moving himself into the top three right now. As we only have 70 laps to go here, and that sounds like a lot of laps, but when you're popping off 4 laps a minute, they're going to click by pretty quickly. Todd Mays, Kyle Mays, Brandon White all battling. Oh, Kyle almost gets up into the side of Brandon White. Able to keep himself moving forward, and they're going to set their sights. It's 52 Cody Moore, also on fresher tires, moving his way through the field. He's going to be trying to catch Joe Wright. Not quite as fast as Steven was. Last time by, Joe ran a 15:29. Cody ran a 15:15. So only about a tenth second faster as the tires are starting to equalize now. Joe Wright starting to catch some lap traffic here. Speaking of lap traffic, our leaders also starting to catch some lap traffic. Blake Hensley making easy work of the lap cars. Stephen Black trying to run down Hensley as he's about a tenth of a second faster than Hensley is right now. A little battle back here between Dave Wright, Isaiah Gill, and Michael Provolt. Brian Nudie involved here as well, as we're seeing the tires really falling off as Nudie's fallen all the way back to the 12th position. Dave Wright on those fresh tires right now, and you know, this might be the strategy to have, as Brian Nudie's got a fresh set of tires in the pits, and we're seeing how much of a difference fresh tires can be. So if Brian Nudie can hang out and catch another caution late where he can take advantage of those fresh tires, I think he'll be one to watch here in the closing laps. Brian Merrill Jr., Will Witt battling here. This is a battle for 8th and 9th on track. Will Witt's going to look to the inside. And he's going to slide. Oh, no, Merrill Jr. is going to fight back on the outside. I thought he was going to be able to clear him here. Will's able to slide up there. And now he's going to set his sights on Cheeseburger. Cheeseburger throwing a bit of a block there. Cheeseburger's a lap down. As Will's going to get right on by now. As Blake Hensley now starting to catch the lap traffic, and look at the lap car in front of him now. A couple of our front runners early on are now being lapped by the 31 as Isaiah Gill blocking in Hensley. He's got really nowhere to go. It's not like there's anything they could do, but right now the yellow flag is out. It looks like Sylvain Seguin turned around on the front stretch. That's going to bring up our wreckage rewind for the 8th time tonight. Let's see if we can see what happened to Sylvain in that Tim Horton machine. Battling with the 82 of Joe Wright. Oh, he just gets high up into the wall, comes down on the 51 of Zach Cox. Neither one of them any place to go, and spins up in front of traffic, and that's what brings out the yellow. So, a little racing deal. Nothing you can really do about that. Unfortunately, just bouncing off the wall. Eddie Morris, excuse me, on pit road. Looking at the looks of that car, I believe that car is probably all done for the night. Should make another one of the retirees tonight, as we've had. Let's see who's retired tonight. Oh, he's going to keep rolling. So far, Bobby Mays, Colin Willems, Brian Dees, Nick Mathers, possibly Max McClure. Nope, Max McClure has retired as well. So quite a few retirees already here. Eddie Morris is the last car running right now. But your leader, Blake Hensley now. Oh, a couple of takers on the pit road. You got Will Witt, Isaiah Gill, Brian Nudie. So this is that strategy I was just talking about. Is these guys had actually, it doesn't look like they're taking tires. Oh no, they are taking tires. So this is that strategy I was talking about earlier. Is great move for guys like Brian Nudie to take tires now, and they were on the tail end of the lead lap. So they're not really losing any positions here. Nudie's going to be restarting in 13th. Will Witt in 12th. Isaiah Gill in 14th. So I think this is a great call for these guys to come in, take tires, and gamble to try to keep them to the end. Again, up front, you got Blake Hensley, Stephen Black. This is races that huge lead that they had. So lights on the pace car are off. Hensley's going to take that high side again with Stephen Black down on the bottom. Cody Moore is going to restart in third with Todd Mays to his outside. Kyle Mays, Joseph Wright, 5th and 6th. David Wright in 7th. Brandon White in 8th. Brian Merle and Brett Merle make up your top 10. Green flag is back in the air. Oh, tire spin as 25 loses it in front of the field. And this is a huge wreck. Brian Nudie involved as well. Oh. And that, my friends, is the big one. See if we can see exactly where this happened. It started with the 25 of Todd Mays. So let's get focused on him here as they come to the restart. And you'll see 25 just lights up the tires, spins the tires on the start, catches that inside wall, comes back across Joe Wright, catches Cody Moore, just barely misses, but Kyle Mays, David Wright, Brian Nudie, all these guys in the back just not able to check up. Oh, the 84 goes for a wild ride. Because he was actually, I believe he was actually upside down for a second. Up on his side. Let's take a closer look at this. Let's ride along with the 40 of Brian Nudie to really show how fast things happen here. And it happened without warning. Nudie didn't even have time to react. car that had the front row view of that would be the 02, I'm sorry, the 82 of Joseph Wright. So let's ride along with Joe here on the start. And folks, that would be the definition of what we like to call gilling it. As we've seen Isaiah Gill do that a couple times, unfortunately. We're gonna ride along with the 25 here and just listen to the wheels, the RPMs. So a tough break for these guys. A lot of tore up race cars, a lot of good race cars getting tore up. Brian Newty missing a hood. Able to continue on though. I don't know how much that damage is going to affect him. Take a look at Joseph Wright, who had a front row ticket to that. Looks like he's got a lot of damage as well. So a lot of tore up race cars. It looks like really the only cars that were not involved with that were the first five on track right now. Well, lights on the pace car are off. Stephen Black was able to take the lead there on that restart, so he's going to restart on the high side with Blake Hensley. A couple people trying to figure out where they're restarting back here. Stephen Black to the restart zone. Green flag is in the air. Everybody gets rolling this time. One car that gets rolling big time is that 98 machine of Stephen Black, as he's immediately checking out on Blake Hensley to almost a half a second lead. Back behind, see Cody Moore getting around the 019 of Brandon White, excuse me. And he's going to clear him off the corner. No, White's going to fight back on the outside. Every time I think they got him clear, that high side really gets the good run off. And right behind him, the 40 of Brian Newty is actually reeling them in. So I don't think that damage is hurting that 40 machine all that much. It's Brian Newty, Kyle Mays. Kyle with a fresh car. I think he had a reset left in the bag, and he's able to pull himself forward now. He's going to get around the 019 as well as Brian Newty gets clear and sets his sight on Cody Moore. To the inside, Brian Newty. Oh, almost some contact between Newty and Moore. But Newty able to hold that bottom lane. Here comes Kyle Mays on the high side. He's going to go right around Newty. As Newty's struggling a little bit. I think that damage is starting to hurt him just a little bit. And we've got a big wreck in the back. Joseph Wright involved. Will Witt. Sylvan Seguin. Zachary Cox. And for the 10th time tonight, just going to bring up our wreckage rewind. So you can see at Langley making a great move around to avoid the spinning cars. Let's see what happened here. You see Zachary Cox here. He was the first car I saw involved, so we'll have to see. Oh, I take that back. That happened in front of Cox here, so that looked like it might have involved Joe Wright. A little 3-wide racing. 3 wide coming off the corner. You see Junior down on the bottom. Joe in the middle. Michael Provo on the outside. That's a California sandwich right there. And Provo comes down a little bit into the side of Joe, who comes down into Junior. Just nowheres to go for anybody. And then Chris Wheeler, Will Witt, Zach Cox just all caught up in it. And looks like Sylvan Seguin came in at the very, very end there. Well, we've got under 40 laps to go here at Bristol, with Stephen Black leading Blake Hensley. Cody Moore, Brian Newty, and Kyle Mays, your top 5. The lights on the pace car are still on. Michaela Cecil says, let's go 31. Blake's been having a great run here up at the front. Led a bunch of laps. Him and Stephen Black have been battling hard with each other for the lead. They've been trading the lead back and forth. Almost have to see if Blake's able to stay to get the win and get around Stephen, or if Stephen's going to hold on for the lead, or for the win, excuse me. As the lights on the pace car are off, we're going to re-rack, restack, get it ready to refire. As you see, a lot of damaged cars out there, and these guys are still trying to figure out the running order a little further back here. I think they figured it out now. Pace car makes that hard left-hand turn. So hard, it even leaves some streaks on the track. Does a little burnout. Green flag back in the air. Stephen Black with a great jump. Blake Hensley immediately to the outside, trying to defend the 52 of Cody Moore. Cody tried to get a run there, and he's stuck on the inside now as Brian Newty is going to take that preferred outside line to try to get around the 52. Here comes the 2 of Isaiah Gill. Isaiah's car looks like it's got a little less damage than Newty's does, as Newty's really struggling here trying to get around that 52 machine. We know Newty's got the fresher tires. I think that damage is really, really bogging that car down, but he's going to clear Cody here, move himself into the 3rd position. Now Isaiah is going to set his sights on Brian Newty. Isaiah looks to the inside. This is a battle for 3rd place right now, and Isaiah gets a little loose. Here comes Kyle Mays. Kyle Mays is pushing Brian Newty a little bit, trying to get him forward. He's kind of just stuck in between these two as they're battling hard for the 3rd position. Great battle on track. Kyle Mays must be getting real frustrated, though, because he knows he's got a faster car, but he just can't do anything about it. Now Isaiah is going to clear Brian Newty, and Kyle Mays is going to look to the inside of Isaiah Gill to take away that 3rd spot himself. But Isaiah gets the run off the corner. They're battling hard back here, trying to take that 3rd and final podium spot away. 30 laps to go here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Stephen Black still leading. He's got about a half a second lead over Blake Hensley in that 31 machine. But slowly creeping up on him is the 2 and the 55. Oh, the 55 gets in kind of deep, gets it a little loose, loses all his momentum. He's going to have to fall in behind Isaiah here, as Isaiah's putting down some laps right now. He's a little bit quicker than Blake, even with all that damage. Blake on those older tires. Stephen Black and Blake Hensley last pit on lap 92. Isaiah and Kyle here pit on 129, so you're seeing these fresher tires. Oh, some contact between Kyle Mays and Isaiah Gill. Mays working that high side. He's going to get around Isaiah here. And now with those fresher tires, Blake Hensley is just going to be a sit and duck. Up front, Stephen Black working through the lap traffic. Kyle Mays trying to find the spot to make the move on the 31 here. He's going to look to the inside. Not going to have the momentum off the corner. Blake just had such a good run off the corner as these guys are catching more damaged lap cars. Going to stay down to the bottom, out of the way. And you see, Kyle Mays trying to cut down. Here he goes. Cutting down underneath that 31, but the 31's got the position. We've seen that outside lane be so strong coming off the corner. It almost takes 4 or 5 laps for that inside car to really get the run and the momentum to make the pass. Here comes the 55. He's going to make the pass. Blake's going to try to cross him over here. Blake now down to the bottom, but those older tires are just no match. Move Kyle Mays into the second position. Now Blake's going to be under fire. Oh, Isaiah Gill's under fire now from the 19 of Brandon White. Oh, we got a wreck right in front. The leader. The leader's involved. Oh my goodness, that's going to bring up our wreckage rewind and all of our leaders involved in this one. This looks like it might have happened right in front of Stephen Black. Let's take a look to see exactly what happened here. It looks like Sylvain Seguin has Stephen Black coming up on him, and yeah. I want to take another look at this from a different view here. As we see Stephen Black yeah, that's oh, I take that back. I apologize. I didn't realize I still had the intensity up there, or the wreckage rewind up there. So this is what Stephen Black coming off of turn number 4, trying to get around the lap car, and they make some contact. And you know, I'm not really sure what to think about this. As yeah, I mean, at the point of impact, I'm not trying to blame either driver, but Sylvain couldn't go any higher, and Steven was just trying to take his line off the corner, and the two of them make hard contact. And we see Blake Hensley involved. Brian Nudie, nowhere to go. He gets caught up in this as well, makes a little bit of contact. So the only car able to make it through is Kyle Mays. The only car that has not a scratch on it right now. That is the extra's got a little ding there on the right front, but other than that, that is the cleanest car on the track right now. Right behind him in second, Brandon White. Joseph Wright up into the third spot. Joseph with a brand new car. So he was able to save his reset for the end run here. And he just recently pit on this yellow, so he's got fresh tires. Fortunately, a lot of cars caught in that wreck. Stephen Black, who now has a fresh car, as he used his reset. Isaiah used his reset, looking pretty good. Cody Moore, Blake Hensley. But, man, tough break for these guys who were battling up front. And Stoney Benfield sitting in the 5th position with a pretty clean-looking car right now. He's got a little bit of damage to that right rear. Other than that, that car is looking pretty good. Well, Kyle Mays is going to take the high side here on this restart. Brandon White on the inside. Joe Wright sitting 3rd with Michael Provo in 4th. Lights on the pace car are off. Take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Kyle Mays is going to wait hits the gas, green flag back in the air. And working that high lane. We're going to see, oh, Joseph Wright gets a little loose there, almost gets into the side of Michael Provolt. It looks like Joe's struggling a little bit. I don't know if he didn't have fresh tires, but here comes Isaiah Gill. Oh, we got 4 wide races. Oh, the 019 of Brandon White around. Back up into traffic. Yellow flag is out. But it looks like just a one-car incident as... let's go bring up our wreckage rewind here. And that is just some tough, hard racing between a bunch of cars on different pit strategies here. You see Isaiah Gill coming down a little bit onto Joe Wright here, and Joe just pinched down. Here comes the 019, not realizing that Joe got pinched down. They make some contact. Joe Wright's able to keep on rolling, but Brandon White does a great job of slapping the wall with the side of the car as opposed to the nose of the car, and saving the damage a little bit because of that. So it looks like Michael White, I think he was coming down to slow down for the incident. So does that ever shake things up? Kyle Mays is still your leader. TJ Floyd moves into the second position. Isaiah Gill and Michael Provolt will be second and third. Joe Wright falls back to fifth. Then you've got Blake Hensley in the 31 sitting in sixth. Cody Moore in seventh. Stoney in eighth. Todd Mays ninth. The one car that's dominated most of this race, the 98, sitting back in 10th. Ryan Merrill Jr. 11th. Cheeseburger Lawrence in 12th. Chris Wheeler back in 13th. So I'm going to rephrase that because these positions look like they're going to cycle around when they come across the line here. Because Chris Wheeler showing in 13th, but he's ahead of Brian Myrtle Jr. I think my timing and scoring is a little wonky right now. As the 98 of Stephen Black here. Trying to get everything all sorted out here. One thing we do know, Kyle Mays is your leader. Fortunate night for a lot of drivers here. It looks like Will Witt and Zachary Cox, their nights are going to be done. Both have been on pit road for over 15 minutes. Eddie Morris still out there running. He's the only car. He's the last car running on track right now. We're gonna re-rack him, restack him, get ready to refire him now. Junior is ahead of Chris Wheeler, so they've figured out the running order now. As the pace car is going to take that hard left-hand turn. We're going to have 10 laps to settle it here. Actually, 9 laps when the green flag comes out to settle it here. As Kyle Mays, gets into TJ just a little bit on the restart. Green flag's in the air. TJ, we got a wreck behind. Big wreck behind. Like Cody Moore was involved. I'm just going to go straight to it without the record rewind here and see exactly what happened here. As I think, yeah, the 52 spins his tires right in front of the field, catches David Wright. Seeing that a lot tonight. It's really easy to spin the tires here at Bristol. Concrete surface, doesn't have a lot of grip, especially when cold. So cold tires causing everybody to struggle just a little bit here. So that brings up our 13th caution. And TJ Floyd able to take the lead there on that restart as the 55 of Kyle Mays did spin his tires just a little bit. That's going to move Isaiah Gill up in the third and Michael Provolt into the fourth spot. A couple cars on pit lane. You've got the 52 of Cody Moore, 22 of Chris Wheeler, Sylvan Segoyan on pit road, Zach Cox, and Will Witt. They're still trying to get whatever damage they can, seeing if they can gain at least one more spot. But Eddie Morris is a few laps ahead of them, so we're not going to be able to gain any more spots there. The lights on the pace car stay on. So we've got 5 laps to go, but we're not going to finish under yellow. Oh no, we're going to have at least one attempt at a green-white checker, up to 3. And the way the restarts have been going tonight, we might see all 3 green-white attempts tonight. Again, tonight's race was brought to you by Airtight Heating and Sheet Metal, the sister company of Fortuna Iron. Heat, sheet metal, and HVAC fabrication are their specialty. If it's not airtight, it's not done right. Check them out. Again, they're a sister store of Fortuna Iron. So TJ Floyd, as we've seen all night tonight, your leader is going to take that high side. Kyle Mays is going to be stuck down on the bottom on this restart. Then Michael Provolt and Isaiah Gill are going to be second and third. Joseph Wright in that cleaned car, starting in fifth, making up 19 positions since the drop of the green flag. So some good strategy for him to get up there. Pace car is off. Green flag is out. TJ Floyd, great jump there. Kyle Mays jumps up to the high side there to try to get a good entry into the corner. That's going to allow Isaiah Gill to try to get underneath Michael Provolt here to take away that third position. And the yellow flag is out. Looks like the 84 of David Wright's around. Looks like the Michael White machine might have been involved as well. Let's see if we can see exactly what happened here. I'm going to rewind this just a little bit because that looks like a huge stack up here into the corner. Yeah, Brian Merle Jr. is off pace there, causes David Wright have to check up. Michael White just nowhere to go, gets in the back of him. And then the 84 just gets a little loose, and that 40 car has been a wrecking ball tonight. This is a replay under caution. Said there was an incident, but it doesn't look like there actually was one. So, well, we're going to have our first attempt at our green-white checker here. You see Derek Chaput getting the wave around here, and TJ Floyd still your leader. Let's take a look through the field here at some of our early front runners. Stephen Black now. Blake Hensley up in the 5th, Stephen Black in the 6th. They were leading early in the race. Joseph Wright has fallen back to 7th on that restart. I think Old tires are really going to be his downfall here. Stoney Benfield up in the 8th. Todd Mays making his way in the 9th. And Brian Royal Jr. sits back in 10th. Michael Lawrence in 11th with Cody Moore in 12th. Chris Wheeler in the 13th position with Brian Nudie, the human pinball, back in 14th. Brett Merle in 15th with Derek Chaput, who just got the wave around, sitting in 16th. And then Michael White will be your first car one lap down, sitting in 17th with, well, it looks like Brandon White has retired for the night. David Wright sitting back in 19th right now, but he's going to get around Brandon White in a moment. And then Eddie Morris in 20th. Sylvan Seguin on pit road, sitting in 21st. I think his night might pretty much be done for the night, as he's been on pit road for over 10 minutes. Zach Cox still on pit road as well, so, and Will Witt. So these guys struggling tonight, still on pit road. Over a half-hour repairs. I don't think they're going to be getting back out on track. So tough night for some of these guys here, especially guys like Brian Nudie. Had such a good run early on the night. Bad luck for Blake Hensley, Stephen Black. Those guys getting caught up in a wreck, not of their own doing. As the lights on the pace car are off, we're getting ready to go back green flag racing here for our green-white checker attempt here. TJ Floyd on the outside, as we've seen the leaders do tonight. Pace car pulls off. Green flag. TJ hits that loud pedal. Oh, Kyle Mays. Oh, the 95 of Michael Provo hits the wall, gets loose. Provo crossed the track, and we're going to do it again. I don't think Provo spun the tires there. We're going to take a look here. No, I think he just came up, caught the wall when the 55 moved up a little bit. Might have spooked him. And Stephen Black involved, Stoney Benfield. Everyone else able to get by unscathed. So we're going to re-rack them, restack them, do it again here for another green-white flag, green-white checker attempt. So we're going to re-rack, restack, get ready to refire here with TJ Floyd. Going to be your leader, Kyle Mays, Isaiah Gill, Stephen Black, and Blake Hensley moving up into the top 5. Stoney Benfield sitting back in 6th. Joseph Wright still in 7th. Michael Lawrence, Cody Moore, and Chris Wheeler, your top 10. Don't forget, join us tomorrow night for the iOS Truck Series as the trucks take on the tricky Iowa Speedway. Another little short track, not quite as banked and fast as you're seeing here tonight at Bristol, but still has its own challenges. So check that out. Atlee Atman Weiss and Dylan Redding will have the call for that one. Thursday night, we'll find some dirt. Friday night, it's the return of the Original Rebels Xfinity Series. Took a week off due to the iRacing and EOL glitch. Want to make sure that didn't affect the playoffs. As this race will be on Friday, be at North Wilkesboro, and it'll be our cutoff race before the next round of the playoffs. Well, it looks like Blake Hensley's having his now you see me, now you don't moments, which we're so used to seeing. Pace car takes that left-hand turn on the pit road. TJ Floyd leads them back to the restart zone. Kyle May's way out in front, and here goes TJ. Kyle slides up in front of Stephen Black. Stephen Black up into the third position, trying to get around Isaiah Gill. As they come off the corner, Kyle Mays takes the lead away from TJ Floyd, but TJ battling back on the outside. We have one flat lap to go. White flag in the air. TJ and Kyle make some contact. Isaiah Gill comes. TJ gets turned around. Isaiah Gill takes the lead. Stephen Black gets through as well. Kyle Mays moves into third. Isaiah Gill comes off at turn number 4. Isaiah Gill is going to be your winner here at Bristol, with Stephen Black coming home in second. Kyle Mays coming home third. Joe Wright in fourth. And Stoney Benfield, your fifth place finisher. Wow. What a strange turn of events as the white flag came out. Let's go back and try to break this down here as we see Kyle Mays. TJ Floyd comes up high trying to pinch Kyle. He has every right to do that. As they come down into the corner here, it looks like TJ comes up the track into Kyle. Kyle hits the wall, gets into TJ, turns him right around. And while that's going on, see Blake Hensley back there dirt tracking it, trying to skid around this. While that happens, Stephen Black and Isaiah Gill go right on by. Kyle Mays keeps rolling for that third place finish. But Isaiah Gill, coming off of turn number 4, is going to be your winner. And Isaiah burning it down on the front stretch. What a crazy, crazy night. Crazy finish here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And we're going to get ready to talk to our top 3. Let's take a look at our results, though, throughout the field. So we talked about the top 5. Blake Hensley comes home in 6th, with Brian Merle Jr. in 7th. Michael Lawrence in 8th. Chris Wheeler, Todd Mays make out your top 10. And then Brian Nudie, the human wrecking ball tonight, comes home in 11th. Just kidding, Brian. We love you. Michael Provold, TJ Floyd, Cody Moore, and Derek Chaput round out your top 15. 16th, you're going to see Brett Merle with Michael White in 17th, Brandon White in 18th, David Wright and Eddie Morris round out your top 20. Sylvan Seguin, Zachary Cox, William Walter with the 5th, Max McClure, Nick Mathers, Brian Dees, Kyle Williams, and Bobby Mays round out the rest of the field. But what an incredible turn of events, and the way this race finished, just kind of mind-blowing right now as we're waiting for our top 3 to come into the booth. And I think we're going to have to start with our winner, as our winner is the only one who has popped into the booth yet. So we'll do this a little backwards. We'll start tonight with your winner, Isaiah Gill. Isaiah, you got Josh in the booth. You got me?
I got you, Josh.
Man, wild race tonight. From the front to the back, to the front to the back, and back to the front. And I know you had a first-hand view of what happened there between TJ and Kyle there, and you were able to get right around. What did you see happen there as you were coming off of turn number two?
So I actually, um, that whole thing, I feel bad for TJ. I didn't get a good jump, and I was supposed to go in the corner with Kyle, because TJ, we were trying to get him in the playoffs tonight, and I feel confident in North Wilkesboro. So this was his night, and I got a bad jump, and seen him throw a huge slider, and once he threw that slider, I just gassed it and let go.
Yeah, but great job avoiding the spinning cars there to come home with the win. And the pit strategy kind of seemed to be all over the place tonight. Did you take your last set of tires on lap 160, or was that just fuel only?
I took my last set at actually 160, because the only reason why I took that because I figured out that half of the field was a lap down. I think it was like 12th was the last one to lead lap, so might as well go in, get that set, and come out 12th.
For sure. Well, great job winning tonight. Any shout outs you got to give? Anyone you want to thank?
Of course, I like to thank again the beautiful of Mary Garcia for letting me race again. She was on the bad side today, and I like to thank Brian Canuti like always, and yeah, and you guys.
Awesome, Isaiah. Well, again, congratulations on the win. Blocks you into the playoffs, and you said you're real comfortable in North Wilkesboro, so you're looking forward to next week.
Oh yeah, for sure. Short track, feel like I'm really good at short track, so we'll see how it goes.
All right, man. Well, we'll look forward to talking to you next week.
All right, thank you.
So that was your winner, Isaiah Gill. Let's bring in your second place finisher. Second place finisher, Stephen Black. Stephen, you got Josh in the booth. You got me?
I got you, Josh.
Man, crazy race tonight. You led a large portion of the race. You got caught up with a little pit strategy there. Got caught up in a big wreck when it looked like Todd Mace spun the tires in front of the field, and but able to come back with a second place finish. Was that kind of the pit strategy from the beginning, kind of staying out as long as possible, or did the strategy change as the race kind of evolved?
Yeah, the main strategy was just to stay out as long as we could on fuel, and probably about. I think we wanted to pit it halfway and then kind of see where we were going to end up later on in the race. And uh, I know me and Sylvan got together, and while I was out front, kind of some miscommunication, but I, I tried to avoid him, and I just got tight, and I couldn't do anything, and I slammed into him. So I apologize for that. But yeah, I think that EOL really messed me up when I had to take it there because I got caught up behind some lap cars for a few laps, and it just took time away that I definitely needed to get it back up to the lead.
Yeah, but I know you and Isaiah had a front row view at Kyle Mays and TJ there on the last lap. It must have had your heart pumping just a little bit, seeing those two making contact right in front of you.
Yeah, it did. I was kind of expecting something like that to happen. I mean, it's Bristol, and temperatures are always high, and people trying to get their way into the playoffs, and um, tight racing overall. It was, yeah, it was crazy to watch firsthand for sure.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations on the runner-up position tonight. I know you're pretty much locked into the playoffs, so these playoff points are these points that really don't matter too much for you. But anybody you got to thank or anybody any shout outs you got to give?
Yeah, shout out to Grandma Hagerman, as usual. Um, Shout out to Isaiah for winning a cup race tonight. I don't know if he's ever won a cup race going back even to season one. So hats off to him. He might have won one before, but I just can't remember. But yeah, shout out to my team. Blake was running really well tonight, and I think he might have got caught up in whatever happened there between DJ and Kyle. And Cody was also up front, and then he missed a shift on the restart, and got sent to the abyss. So
Yeah, I saw a couple people spin the tires on the start. Well, again, congrats on the second place finish, and we'll talk to you again soon.
thank you, Josh.
And lastly, we're going to bring in our third place finisher, Kyle Mays. Kyle, you got Josh in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, man, great job coming home in third. I know you wanted the win tonight. You and TJ were battling hard there at the end. A little 3 wide, a little 2 cars in one spot, but great run overall. You got to be happy with coming home third tonight.
Yeah, it's a disappointing third. I felt like I should have won that race if TJ wasn't just body slamming into the wall on the last lap. I felt like that was a good clean slider there, and then he just killed me.
Yeah, and I know it's a tough one. I know Isaiah was diving down to the bottom at the same time, so it's a tough pill to swallow for sure. But overall, great showing tonight. Led a lot of laps. How was your strategy? Did your strategy change as the race evolved, or did you kind of have a set strategy of what you guys were planning on doing tonight?
No, I mean we pitted there after halfway. I think Hensley, Black, me, and there were some others, and then we were coming back up through there. I think I got into Junior there once trying to get back through there, and then I let Black get by me. It was just a race to get back to the front, and then we had a caution, and I lined up on the inside row. I think Todd spun his tires, and I messed my car up, so I thought I would go ahead and take tires there, which helped me out. And then I don't know if the 019 wrecked with about 15 to go there, or somebody got into him or something. When that caution come out, I knew there was going to be some people with some fresher tires, but I still feel like I did everything right and just got it taken away from me. But that's Bristol, I guess.
Yeah, that's Bristol. That's racing. That's short track racing. And I know you like your short tracks. We move on next week to North Wilkesboro. How do you feel your chances are there?
I either won North Wilkesboro in the trucks, or I think it was the ARCA. I won North Wilkesboro at. So we'll see.
Awesome, man. Well, lastly, before we let you go, anybody you want to thank? Any shout outs you got to give?
It's my wife's birthday today, so I just want to give her a shout out. Thanks for letting me race on her birthday.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the third place finish on the podium, and moving on to a good track for you. Maybe we'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks.
Well, there you have it, your top 3 here at Bristol. What a wild night. We saw a lot of carnage. We saw a lot of craziness, but overall, Isaiah Gill comes home with the win, and he wasn't the one that spun his tires tonight, which is surprising, and makes his way into victory lane. Again, thanks for joining us tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. If you haven't already, like, follow, subscribe. Let us know what you like, what you dislike. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to also follow us on Twitter at IntensityBroad1. And join us tomorrow night as the Truck Series takes on Iowa Speedway. My name's Josh Hall, and as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over